Okay, so there's your liver right there. Let's take this out.
Then your gallbladder.
What's this green thing right there? There you go. That's the gallbladder, exactly. Just on the which stores bile for us.
I need to sit on the mink because it's just
in the mink, it's hidden amongst the right lobes of the liver. You have to pull the right lobes apart, and usually it's hidden down inside. So when it's pulled apart, we know that's the... That's it. That's how you tell it. And also, if you look the way the pin goes through it, the liver is harder, the gallbladder is very soft. Usually it's partially collapsed. That's the other way. Look how the pin goes into it. Okay, there's always little clues if you know where to look for those things. I mean, seriously.
Okay. Oh, that's the clues.
So, I just told you right there. Those are 2 clues. Think about just logically. Anytime you see something pinned, you got to say to yourself, okay, there's only a couple of things this could be, and you limit everything else right away. That's right here. Here's the lesser curvature where the stomach joins the small intestine. That's the pyloric sphincter. Okay. Well, this organ right here is pancreas. What's this thing right here called?
Spleen.
Spleen, not digestive. It's still part of the lymphatic system. Okay, calm down. Calm down. Right. So now we're looking at parts of the small intestine. I'm going to take all this out of the way first because the first part here, the duodenum, is kind of like behind or posterior to the other parts, at least in humans. The mink runs down the right-hand side. So that's the duodenum, the first and shortest part. Put this back in place now. All you can say is, well, these upper loops, if I put a sticker up here somewhere, that is jejunum. Lower loops are ileum. That's the only way you can tell them apart, really. That's it, at least from gross anatomy. Then here you can see, here's where the ileum ends, right here. Into the large intestine. So you have the first part here, the cecum, the part that everybody forgets. Cecum gets no love, right? Cecum is here. Then we go up as the ascending colon. Then go across as the transverse colon. Then go down as the descending colon. Let's take this off now. The S-shaped part, you see part here and part still in there. That's the sigmoid colon. Exactly. Like someone just said before, the part that extends off the back of the cecum is the appendix. What do you call all this kind of like this beige colored stuff, this whole big membrane here? What's that called?
The broad ligament.
No, that's
never mind.
Never mind. Nope.
No,
what would this be?
That's a part. Meso, something.
Mesocolon.
Nope,
that's
nope.
the
Actually,
mesocolon.
nope. Mesocolon actually be more like you see on the back side here.
Back.
But going out to, well, actually, I take that back now. I was thinking of the small intestine more. So actually, you are correct. It is mesocolon. I'm thinking of another model. So you are correct. This is mesocolon. Correct. Another one, it shows the small intestine. You call it just the mesentery. But here, that is the mesocolon. Right. So that's one part. Now, as far as this model goes, it doesn't show lesser or greater omentum. These models show, like, for example, whenever
that's
it's
the
put in
black
place,
one.
now you see the greater omentum in front of all the intestines here. That model shows the greater. That's the only model that shows the greater omentum.
Greater omentum.
Yeah,
Where's the lesser omentum?
It doesn't show it here. It goes from the stomach up to the liver. In a way, it'd be going from the lesser curvature up to the liver. Kind of like that, in a way that connects those two together. But no model that we have shows the lesser omentum. You only see that inside the mink, actually. Okay? So we take this apart. So let me, before we get to the vessels, let's take this off for a second and just show you the rest of the, take this apart. So there's the end of the sigmoid colon, where it straightens out, rectum, right there, the anus. You want to touch because you never know, right?
Oh my goodness.
Okay. So again, sigmoid colon, rectum, and the anus. Then what would we call this thing like right here? What's that called?
Bladder.
Urinary bladder, okay?
What if you just put bladder?
I would not mark it wrong.
Thank you.
Remember, all of this urinary, and there's a gallbladder, which I think you guys know the difference. So yeah, just technically bladder is fine, but urinary bladder really is the name. Then because this is going to be a male,
prostate.
okay, so you see the prostate gland going through that, the prostatic urethra, out in the penis, the spongy urethra, okay, like we talked about in class today. Oh yeah, right. Okay, so let's put this back together now, put it back inside. So just want to see the last parts of the GI tract. Now I'll see some blood vessels down here. Okay, so this is abdominal aorta, inferior vena cava. Of course, these two things, kidneys, draining urine out of the kidneys. You have the ureters going down to the urinary bladder here. Then abdominal aorta branches by going into the left and right common iliac arteries. They in turn branch into the external and the internal iliac arteries. Okay? And right behind it, you see the common iliac veins right in there. Going out to the kidneys, the renal artery, and the renal vein. So renal artery, renal vein. What's this thing here that sits on top of the kidneys called? The renal gland, exactly.
So, can you point out again the left and right thing at the bottom?
Oh, these are left and right common iliac arteries.
The red
so
ones.
left and right. Yeah, the arteries, and the blue ones are the left and right common iliac veins. They have the very same names. But the arteries will branch then into the external and the internal iliac artery. So common iliac arteries, and external, and there you see internal diving deeper
Oh,
inside.
so internal goes towards the anus.
Yes, internal goes towards all the pelvic organs,
All right.
correct. External goes down into the thigh.
Are there the same arteries and veins up top? Did you mention? I've